once again, thank you for coming today. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful day for these ladies as well. This is Diane Madden and Lucille Defina. They were plaintiffs in an action against the town of Hempstead. Today, the clerk of the court, Federal District Court in Iceland, entered a judgment against the town of Hempstead based upon a lawsuit that we brought against them for violations of these ladies' First Amendment rights and for defamation. Rather than going to trial, the trial was to start in February. The town offered up a judgment in lieu of going to trial. That judgment was $150,000, inclusive of attorney's fees. This is a big day for these ladies and for the community of Hempstead. They stood there, they stood toe-to-toe with the town, they fought through this lawsuit, they were ready to go to trial, they were ready to have the world hear what they had to say. This has been a long fight. They've been talking not just the last 2 years of this litigation, but for years and years and years. Over many years, they talked about how they found problems in the shelter, how they found issues with respect to public finance of the shelter, how they found issues with respect to the misuse of monies at the shelter. No one would listen. Rather than listen, the town attempted to chill their First Amendment rights to free speech. Not only did they do that, but they removed them from the shelter. They told them they couldn't go back there as rescuers, and they told the community that the reason is because there was a criminal investigation that was ongoing. And as if to infer that these ladies who had donated all of their time and tens of thousands of dollars over the years were somehow criminals. Well, rather than go to trial, as I said, this case has been resolved. They've offered up a judgment. We've accepted the judgment. These ladies have accepted the judgment in order to move on, to fight further for the rights of these animals and for transparency in government. You know, many people say you can't fight City Hall. Well, these two ladies did, and they won. That's the message here. You can fight City Hall, and you can win. It's important to open up your mouth and to say something when you see something's wrong. They did so, and they've been vindicated. So I want to thank them for doing this for us, in the community of Hempstead, Nassau County, and I'm going to open this up to questions to them and to myself. But again, I just want to say that this is such an important day for all of us. Thank you. Just have your name, sorry. Yeah, my name is Stephen Morelli, M-O-R-L-L-I, Stephen with a V.
Diane, Lucille, can you guys maybe just talk a little bit and say, you know, basically what this means to you today? Yeah, you got to vote.
Well, what it means to us is we finally, after 2 years, have a reason to celebrate. We're very happy, we're very excited. We certainly had hoped, and we made a sincere effort to work with town officials, with the government, at an attempt at oversight, any kind of leadership committee regarding the animal shelter, to work and partner with them to make it a place we can all be proud of. But it's very obvious they are not interested in oversight or transparency nor accountability. So at this point, we're very happy to win, and we just won sooner than we had anticipated. So we'll move forward and certainly continue to be a voice for the animals. We have no intention on stopping. This is just kind of puts this phase behind us, and now we can move on and really help those animals and be a voice for them.
How will you do that? Will you continue to volunteer there, or have you been?
We actually are part of a grassroots movement, and it's called Hope for Hempstead Shelter. There's a website, Hope for Hempstead Shelter, a Facebook page. We intend to join with that community of people to bring awareness, again, to reform the animal shelter, to make real programs, real, improved procedures. There are so many improvements that are still needed at the animal shelter that are not taking place, and we just want to make that happen. And from day one, this is about the animals for us. This is not about money. This is about shelter reform, and that's what we intend to move forward with.
What do you think of the changes that they've made over the last 2 years that they say they've made?
We recognize some improvements, but when you take a look at some of those programs, they really, although they started programs, they're really not functioning or operating the way they need to be. They need to really open the doors further to volunteers. They need to take in people that are really there for the benefit of the animals, not necessarily who they know or for the money alone. We are interested in moving forward. It looks like we have no choice but to launch a privatization campaign because there are volunteers that will be photographers. There are volunteers that will be take every position and be there for the animals with all of their heart.
Lucille, I just wanted to ask you, what was the most frustrating part of all this over the last year or 2 years or so?
Not being able to really express what the truth was, and it was tough when they take away your credibility and they put doubt and many times fear into that's what we experience, and it goes on quite often and makes people go away and say, I don't want to deal with this. We stood firm and said, well, we have to deal with this, because if we didn't, I don't think we could have lived with ourselves. So that's, I do want to say, this has restored my faith in the justice system. I am so thankful to Stephen Morelli and the job that he did, because there were many times we didn't know which way to turn. And the guidance and the direction that he offered us brought us here today. To this point, and also New York State Controller Thomas DiNapoli. He did an unbelievable job with the audit, and the findings in that audit and the findings that we reported, and this case coming to this conclusion, proves that there are many